Black Eyed Peas. What's up?
JoJo on the radio.
JoJo on the radio.
You know what?
What's that?
Every time we come around the circuit, one, I love working the circuit. You know, we've done this time and time again where we feel like we have something special, and you are that good luck charm for us.
Yeah.
Every
Am I
time,
really?
I swear to you,
Yes.
every time we come around and we have a song, if we don't come by JoJo on the radio, the songs have never really taken off.
Well, then I guess we got this one rolling pretty good then. Because
So the
I
fact
didn't
that
know that.
The fact that we're here with JoJo on the radio about to really, take RITMO to a totally next level. We've already got like 400 million views on YouTube, over 300 million streams, and it's only been out for like 3 months. And now we're about to hit radio in America in a major way, and we are stopping the first interview with JoJo. Like this means so much.
And it's a new decade.
That's true.
20s,
2020.
it's the 20s, bro.
I have a feeling this song would have done pretty good without me, but I'll take that, you guys. Black Eyed Peas are here. We got so much to talk about. Will, I think maybe Taboo Apple, maybe you guys have the same thing. We have something in common. Nothing to be excited about. Trust me. What's that thing you got? The ears, the tinnitus, Will?
Tonight is tonight.
Tonight's gonna be a good night.
Tinnitus. Yes, I got tinnitus, bro. I got tinnitus.
Is that where the ringing? This reminds me of. I'll jump back to that in a second. Will is on the air with me in Los Angeles, like years ago, and you start just singing some random, a couple of verses or whatever, just spitting out this and that little random moment turned into the track In the Air
For Flow Rider, yeah.
So I just watched you write that right in front of me. How you did the tinnitus. That's how things happen. So
yeah, it's pattern matching. You know what I mean? Like connecting the dots and being in that like absolute freedom of conscious, like making things up as you go and being fearless. Fearless and free of judgment is what gives you that power just to like manifest stuff.
all right, so back to the tinnitus. That's the ringing in the ears. You have that. You can't sleep. The quote I heard was, "You don't know what at this point anyway. You don't know what silence sounds like."
I know what silence sounds like.
Apple, Taboo, you guys have that too? Because you guys been through as much studio and live performing as this guy.
No, I have elephantitis.
Well,
I think I have a slight, because I like things being on, like the TV to go to sleep. So
you keep it just kind of to drown out the
Yeah.
That's what it gets when you guys are legends, been touring forever. You get a little in the background. Here we go. All right, the P's are hanging out. We'll get to this track, RITMO, in a couple of minutes. But let me ask you real quick. Are we working on, I know everybody asked this, but do we have a P's album coming up in 2020? What do we got?
Let me tell you something about the P's album. See how to get my voice real deep to tell you how that is.
All right.
Moto.
This P's album. This is our 8th studio album. And it's packed with like jammies. Just the same way, like when we made the end, I was like, yo, the end, every single song just feels like I could play it. And any party, any gathering, anything you want, when you want to like entertain folks, play the end. This is that for this new era. Put on this new P's project. It's like we made a playlist. Awesome features. It's Latin leaning. I come from an all Latin neighborhood, so this is like right in culture to like my upbringings. And RITMO is starting it off first with J Balvin. Man, this new Black Eyed Peas project feels electric.
And it's awesome because we got to have this song off the Bad Boys 3 soundtrack, Will Smith, Martin Lawrence new movie, and being able to have that be the 2020 jump off for Black Eyed Peas in a major way, even though it came out in 2019. It's amazing because it's a great way to start the year.
Yeah, it's a party mode album. We're trying to get everyone together with like fun music instead of like being with just like with so much information. But you could get everyone together with fun music. So that's how it is.
And it's great for workouts. It's great for sporting events. I see it like the way that I got to fill in and boom, boom, pow, and let's get it started. We'll play it at all the Laker games and all the Dodger games. That's how the new project will be.
That's got to be crazy for you guys to be sitting at a Laker game or whatever, pick a game, and your music comes on. Is that
Yeah.
just a sort of a weird, like, oh my God, pinch me moment kind of a thing?
No, because like, yes, but we also designed it for that. Like, does this sound like something they're gonna play when your favorite team comes back and they boom play this, pump it, pump it louder, right? You know what I mean? Does this sound like the song that your aunt's gonna be dancing to because your nephew or niece said, "Get up, come on, auntie, come on"? She's like, "No, okay." Does this sound like that record? Like, we all know those moments in life. And so, like, we try our best to score for those moments in life. And we got really good at it, right? You know, to have had a really healthy career and now have this, like, song that's #1 in the Latin charts. Here's why that's important. The Latin charts are not just like, oh, Latin charts. It just so happens that if you would have asked Spotify and all these streaming platforms, like, Latin is the #1 streamed music in the world. So for us to be #1 in the #1 stream music in the world just means, like, yo, that is freaking awesome. Thank you. Shout out to J Balvin for the collabo. Can't wait for folks to hear the new collabs that we have under the sleeve. That's just electric.
I guess the point being, 2020, Black Eyed Peas ain't joking around.
No.
There it is. By the way, do we have a date for the album or an approximate time, or just when it's ready, it's ready?
Yeah, like before summer.
There we go. All right,
Yeah.
Peas are hanging out, something like that. Black Eyed Peas, true or false? You plan or hope to do a musical or flip a musical in the near future? What is that all about?
So we were thinking of, like, okay, we've done some pretty extraordinary things in our career, like play the Super Bowl, we played the World Cup, played, numerous Grammys.
God, that just flows out of your mouth like, I got a glass of water. Those are so not normal things.
I got to check my phone.
Won Grammys, like played, sold out stadiums on our own 3 nights in a row, 80,000 seats, played in front of 1 million people in Brazil. We've done some pretty awesome things, like inaugurations. Apple got the key to the country and has a day in the Philippines.
Did they actually give you a key to that? Pull the back to Apple if you get.
He has it on his neck.
Yeah, that's right here.
Well, there it is. I'll be damned. All right.
So we were thinking, like, what do we do next? We're restarting the engines, and boy, last year we returned to our origins and did Masters of the Sun and did like an underground hip hop record, the vibe of what we were at, and we always knew that we were gonna, like, flex that pop muscle again, and we flexed that pop muscle. Check us out. Boom, starting off right now, RITMO, big. So, but what does it point to? And so Tab and App and I were talking, like, a Black Eyed Peas musical or a Black Eyed Peas biopic series is what, just on what it took to be us, Apple being adopted from the Philippines, coming to America knowing no English. 2 years later, we're signed to Ruthless Records with Eazy-E. I'm born and raised in an all-Mexican neighborhood. Only black family, going to all-white school. Apple's, like, classmate was Leonardo DiCaprio. Mine's was, Red Food from LMFAO. Taboo's in Rosemead, a teen father. All our struggles from, like, saying no to hard drugs, not doing drugs, staying, like, keeping the dream alive when everyone was telling us no. Like, I think our story is, like, truly magnificent, like, unlikely encountering. Like, the only reason why I know Apple is because his adopted father, Joe Ben Hudgens, sponsored him ever since he was 5 and brought him to America when he was 14. And that, like, philanthropic, big heart is the reason why we are who we are. And I think that musical or that biopic is what we do next. That's how we top it all off.
Yeah, and being like, we've been away for 8 years, and for us to have more journey and more story to tell is amazing, because we're on an amazing path, where we're at. I have 3 amazing young kids. I'm in a different perspective of life because I'm a cancer survivor. Survived cancer 5 years ago.
Amen to that.
Yeah, so it's a different perspective, and I'm glad that I have Will and Apple to be able to be in my corner, champion me, but also, like, to be able to tell more story. to this amazing brotherhood that we started since we were teenagers.
Yeah, and speaking of journey, you know, we're still going because just like Will said, you know, I was given an opportunity, brought to the U.S., became a Black Eyed Peas. So we followed the footsteps of my adopted father, the foundation that helped me out. And now we discovered a young, talented lady from The Voice Philippines. Her name is J. Ray Soul. And, you know, we just keep it moving, paying it forward.
I tell you what, I cannot wait to see how this develops, whether it's a musical, you know, a series on TV, or God, that you got so many levels to this. This is what a show needs. There's levels, and that's real. You can't make some of this stuff up you guys been through. You
exactly. Know? Like I could imagine like the younger versions of ourselves, you know, producing those younger versions of ourselves as peas, and making new music with a younger cast of Black Eyed Peas.
What an idea.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So we're songwriters, producers. In this biopic, that younger version of ourselves that are playing us should be releasing new material from this whole thing called Black Eyed Peas. So Black Eyed Peas will continue to tell stories and inspire folks and, you know, cross demographics and generations by having like a new, you know, way to entertain and inform and inspire. And I think, like, you know, I binge the hell out of Netflix, HBO, you know, I don't know who else to I just subscribe to Disney Plus. I subscribe to freaking Amazon Prime, Apple Plus. Like, you know how many subscriptions to these freaking platforms there are out there?
That's really why you came back. So you got to pay for all these subscriptions.
So I think like I want to aim Black Eyed Peas down that path. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
We've done radio. We've done it really well. And, you know, Spotify is great. Apple Music is great. Radio's awesome. iHeart's awesome. But iHeart, radio, but also connected to, like, you know, storytelling. I think the world of music should not just be YouTube and radio. It should be radio, streaming, and then visual storytelling. I think the videos like has been redundant because you could do the same thing on Instagram. What used to be a music video is just everyday activity on Instagram. Right? You could freak out. There's better filters than what you're doing and paying crazy money on CG for your music videos. And more importantly, you know, the people want that constant feed on Instagram. The demand is so high. So you have to constantly be, you know, creative. Cardi B is like the queen of that. Love Cardi's feed.
And you guys, well, obviously 2020 is going to be a massive year and a busy year for you guys.
Yeah.
So
this decade.
It's good though.
Yeah, totally.
It feels great. You know, we just did we did Australia in November, then we did Philippines with App did the opening of the SEA Games, and then we closed it. So, you know, we've already been doing some international touring. Now this year we're getting revved up to release this project and continue touring and doing what we've been doing for many years.
You guys are vets on the road. I mean, give me some plans, details, you know, what are we working on, speaking of the road, touring in 2020 and beyond?
So we have this dream, and that dream is to be at that level that we were at in 2011 when we were playing stadiums. There was this one country that gave us like something that I don't even know if we could accomplish that in the States. That's playing equivalent of 3 Rose Bowls Friday, Saturday, Sunday by ourselves. Yeah. So that's in France, and the place is called Stade de France. And we're not French, but we hold the record with the amount of stadiums one group could sell out by themselves. And so in France, like Black Eyed Peas, we're kind of big in France. So,
kind of a big deal.
Bonjour.
Oui, oui.
Merci.
So our dream is to return to Stade de France. But to do that, you have to do serious work. And so last year we started that work, and we were playing festivals, like 100,000 people in the audience that were going freaking bananas. Grapes, oranges, all types of fruits. They were going crazy. And so now we're going back. They wanted us back. The promoter was like, look, 9 shows in France, not just Paris, like Lyon, you know, Marseille, you know, Brittany, you know, Toulouse. Like a lot of people, when they go to France, they just think Paris. Like, no, there's other freaking places. So we're going back to France and playing like all the 9 core places in France this summer. It's going to be freaking electric, amazing. Of course, we're going to go throughout the rest of Europe and just get that engine. 2020 is about like oiling up that machine that took us out of the cosmos.
Yeah, and staying consistent with the content that we launch. You know, that's one thing that we learned. We always talk about it. I know I heard Will say it a lot. J Balvin is the prime example of the new, enforcer when it comes to launching music and staying consistent, creative, and pushing the envelope when it comes to that.
Yeah, so a lot of times, if you've had like 3 collaborations in a year, management or the record company would be like, the particular artist is working a lot and they're already flooded. J Balvin's not like that. He's like, let's do another one, let's do another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. And what's brilliant about J Balvin is he has like multiple record companies building J Balvin. It's crazy.
So as in he has a US, he has UK,
No.
or
He has UMG, he has Sony, he has Universal.
Oh, I see what you mean.
He has Ultra, he has all these people building J Balvin. It's freaking brilliant. And so I was like, oh, okay. Because our world is like, this song is really precious. This album is really precious. And let's not let anything get in the way of our releases. J Balvin's theory, which is like a Drake on amplified, because Drake was like king of the mixtape, king of the collaborations. J Balvin took it to a totally different level, to where I see the effects of it every other day. He's like, yo, my G, we have to push the record, tell the record company, push the record. I'm like, yo, this dude, I've learned so much from this dude.
Yeah.
So now we have our collaborations that we have coming out. Yo, we pushing.
Yeah.
I feel like this is our first record again, as far as like, let's go everywhere.
dude, I love this. This is like they walk in and you were screaming 9 lives.
Yeah.
Black Eyed Peas. I think you guys might have 10, 11 lives.
Literally.
Oh, man. Black Eyed Peas are hanging out. You alluded to it earlier, but I want to ask about, even though you've been doing this for a while, do you recall the first moment you guys signed the record deal? I assume it was with Eazy-E's company way back in the
Ruthless.
day.
Me and Apple signed. We just fresh into 17 years old.
Apple just came from the Philippines.
Apple just came from the Philippines like 3 years before that. And we got signed for $10,000. And then
That was a lot of money, I'm guessing, at that point, right?
Yo,
Or was it?
We split it up 3 ways. We had
333 cents.
And I bought me a yellow Fiero because that was like a poor man's Ferrari.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yo, I rocked that Fiero. Everybody knew me as, Will with the yellow Fiero.
2-seater.
2-seater and stuff.
God, and what about you, Al? That moment?
I mean, it was surreal to be in front of Eazy-E. I just got here from the Philippines. I'm like, I'm rapping with Eazy-E. We wrote a song called Merry Effing Christmas. And I'm like, whoa. It's like a pinch yourself moment. And we got 3,333 cents. So I got me a drum machine. So, it was amazing journey.
And Taboo, when did Taboo jump in on this? I'm sorry.
So then in 1995, when Eazy-E passed away with AIDS, rest in peace, we started Black Eyed Peas that summer of 1995. And our whole thing was like, yo, let's play colleges. If we play colleges, if we own all the colleges in LA, then we built our careers. So we played Dominguez Hills, Northridge. We played freaking, Long Beach,
UCLA,
USC,
Loyola
Marymount. We played all these colleges. The next thing you know, it's like, yo, let's go to San Diego. So we went to San Diego. Then we went to San Francisco and Berkeley. So from 1995 to 1997, everybody knew the Black Eyed Peas in our demographic. And so
I came in 95.
Taboo comes in 95, and we were just rocking shows. And then we had this bidding war where Happy Walters at Immortal Records offered us like $25K. Then like
Max
Burgos offered at London Records offered us like $60K. Then Warner's offered us like $100K. V2 offered us $200K. Sony offered us, $300K. Jimmy Iovine at Interscope offered us $400K. Then it just kept on going and going and going.
I like this.
Then Sony offered us like $1,100,000, and Jimmy kept firm at $450,000. And Jimmy's like, look, you could sign with Sony. And if you don't sell any records, that'll be the last time you guys put out records, I promise you. Because $1 million for a rap group is just too much money. It's too much pressure. I promise you, no matter how many records you sell at Interscope, you could always make records. So what's beautiful about that story is we picked Jimmy Iovine.
You picked him, the 450 offer over the 1.1 mil or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But here's what's beautiful. Now it's 2020. Black Eyed Peas are officially on Sony Epic, where we were supposed to be anyway. But the person who helped us negotiate our contract, he was like, you know what? Send me the contract. I want to help you out. I think this will be great, right? So Jimmy helped us negotiate our freaking contract after we've had a full career. That is the most beautifulest part of this whole entire story and journey. So one day I go to Jimmy's house. He's like, why aren't you doing reggaeton? Are you into that? That's big. I was like, oh, let me show you this. So I played him RITMO on a couple of songs. He's like, wow, Will, this sounds great. This is great. And then I told him, hey, we have this opportunity to sign with Sony. He was like, let me see the contract. So that story is just like, wow, we would have been at Sony Epic anyway. Went with Jimmy, took less money to then go to Sony 20 years later with around the same amount of money they offered us 20 years ago.
And that'll be a part of the biopic when you guys do this thing or
That's
the music
right.
later on. All right,
That's
Black Eyed
classic.
Peas are hanging out. Let's do this track, RITMO. What do we? I know you've said everything about it so far, but give me something people need to know about this track. I know Bad Boys for Life and all that. Talk about this track. You
All
guys.
right, so I'm going to talk about this track, but I'm going to compare it right quick to I Got a Feeling.
Oh, gotcha. Right.
I Got a Feeling.
You know that little song?
That. Yeah,
But
heard about it.
as big as that song is, 10, 11 years, because we're 2020, that song has 400 and,
He's going through his phone right now.
sorry, that song has 426 million views,
11 years.
11 years.
Gotcha.
RITMO has 400 million views in 3 months.
Jesus.
Right? Just want to put things in perspective as far as like the appetite and how vibrant it is. We will hit 1 billion views, in 3 more months the way we're going. So I just want to put that in perspective of when you compare one of the biggest songs in the world, I Got a Feeling, and we know what that means, to where we are right now at RITMO. Right? It's bilingual. Right? So here we are in 2020. The world's coming closer together. And yes, you have these songs that sometimes seem like flukes, where you have like, Mi Gente, which is J Balvin, or you have like Despacito, which is all the way Spanish. But this is one of those records where I think it's going to define the rest of popular culture, where it's like, and yes, you had Taki Taki, which is bilingual too. RITMO is adding to that, like, cultural collaboration, that cultural appreciation and celebration, where it's like, you don't have to change your language, because when Black Eyed Peas are big and they play us all around the world, they're not telling us to sing I Got a Feeling in Spanish, my bro. They don't say, hey, we like the Black Eyed Peas. Can you sing Where's the Love in Spanish? Or can you sing Where's the Love in Japanese? Can you translate Where's the Love in Lithuanian? I think where we're going, you're going to see a lot of, folks just keeping their language, because the world is beautiful. And RITMO is like, let's go. So check it out, y'all. Have an open mind, open heart. Cultural collaboration at its finest. A little bit of East LA, a little bit of Filipino, a little bit of Colombian. Right at you. Here we go. Check it out. RITMO.
And also the video was done by Colin Tilley, which is an amazing visionary. He's worked with J Balvin on different projects and videos, so it was an honor to work with him as well.
And we got this remix version, if you want to call it that, with Jaden Smith. What do people need to know about this thing?
Jaden Smith is the next dude. I'm going to call it right now. Like how we see Drake, how we see Travis Scott, how we seen, all the folks that are just a little to the left. and really make us like, love their whole like artistry, and they add color to our lives with their music, I'm calling Jaden Smith the next.
What makes you say that? I know that you've seen it all, and you have a good gut for this. What makes you say that about Jaden Smith?
There's no word for it. Like, I don't know what it was when I was like, yo, that dude. Like, it's just something there. I don't know what it was. I can't really say why Travis Scott. It's just something. They have this thing, and Jaden has that thing. It's something he's fighting for, his own identity from his, the family he was brought into, and his family is awesome. And I see the artist in him, and I see his drive. I see how, like, he might say like music is a hobby. No, bro. Music is your paintbrush. Whether you're painting for yourself or you're painting for some exhibition, you're a good painter.
Yeah.
With hobby or not, you're dope.
I would say his humility and the fact that he's a humble kid, being part of this configuration, this amazing family, being in the studio with him, just building with him, because we've known him since he did Karate Kid. Like, that was when we first met him back in the day with Will and Jada and everybody. So just seeing how humble this kid is, seeing his drive and how artistic, and, he's definitely on the cusp of something great.
And when he went to, he recently just went on Ellen, and he gifted Ellen the ability to help out the folks in Michigan. I'm like, yo. That means he's doing things for something. It's not just like for him. So music for him is the way for him to do even more for culture and society. It's not just like, yo, I'm trying to be famous. It's like, no, I'm trying to make music so I could go out there on my own and impact culture.
Yeah.
And change things where things need to be changed and help society for the better. Boom. Jaden Smith. That's the reason why I think he's the next dude.
You think 2020 is the year it happens for him?
He's already started. And 2020 is the year where he really realizes just how Jaden Smith could really punch culture and move it where everyone could live life just a little better through music and art.
Yeah.
Alongside the philanthropy.
He's like
stuff he
the
does.
quadruple threat. You know how people say, oh, you're a triple threat? Like, he's got a lot of different angles. And, him being a great actor, musician, philanthropist, just he's definitely one to look after.
All right, let's do it. Black Eyed Peas, J Balvin, Jaden Smith, RITMO. Will, what's the story about? You have a high-tech lab in Hollywood creating all kinds of new tech, something.
Yeah, so the home of the Peas is
it's a Peas thing, not a Will thing. This is a group thing.
No,
right?
it's our home.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's our facility. We have 3 recording studios, 2 sound stages, editing booths for directors to edit the stuff that we make. We have app development den where app developers develop like new types of technologies. We have CNC machines on the other side of the building. We have a cut and sew to make awesome fly gear. Like, my bag was made there. So yeah, it's a pretty fantastic little like workshop.
Yeah, and people always ask us, like, besides working with each other, do you guys hang out? That's our hangout. That's our clubhouse.
That's the spot you go to.
It's like, even if we're not specifically working on peace stuff, we're there, we're conjugating, we're hanging out, and just, creative energy is something that we as a unit have been a part of since we first started.
Yeah.
So
it feels like, being adults now, like, because we were young adults when we first started, fresh out of the teens,
Yep.
and signed the Interscope. When we would go to that office, we were like, wow, look at this office. Like, our place, is better than that office. Like, if you really think about it and look at, like, we don't have nothing to worry about. Like, we have the engineers, the equipment. It's everything that we dreamt of ever having in that facility.
I want to see this place one of
Yes,
these days.
it's
I can't
cool.
believe I haven't rolled over there. Of course, Black Eyed Peas.
Peace!
Don't forget RITMO. It is out. Expect a new Black Eyed Peas album at some point this year. Tour. We're talking tour. We're talking eventually some sort of a musical or a biopic
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 series.
Biopic series.
Straight out of Stranger Things.
It is so good to see you guys.
We
I
see
really
you too, man.
By the way, if I am good luck for the Peas, man, let this be. I hope I did the trick this time. Because
No, seriously, every single time we've come and seen you, these songs go to the top. I swear to you.
that's what I do. I think.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right, fellas. Thanks for hanging out. At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official. Give me a little bam and a bam and a bam.